Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Let's Play of Resident Evil 4. I'm the Ninja Stalker, and... Straight ahead, I guess?
Welcome. Got a selection of good things. What are you selling?
I think it's safe to say we don't need these anymore, huh?
Is that all? Is that all? Thank you. What are you buying? What are you buying? Come back anytime.
Something's not right. Ashley, you stay here. Ada!
Look at you. All tied up. She probably likes being tied up. She's into that BDSM shit.
Better try a new trick, cause that one's getting old. You okay?
I've been better.
What's so funny?
Oh, I think you know. The American prevailing is a cliché that only happens in your Hollywood movies. Oh, Mr. Kennedy, you entertain me. To show my appreciation, I will help you awaken from your world of clichés.
Ada, stand back.
Oh, shit! my god! Alright, I need to... Alright, I think that might be a little bit better. Okay, he didn't like that one bit.
Use this.
Oh, sweet, she gave me another one. Where the hell did she throw it at? It's special. Special fires a special rocket. Terminate the boss. This bitch.
Sorry, Leon. Hand it over.
Ada, you do know what this is.
Hope you land on your head when you...
Don't worry. I'll take good care of it.
Ada!
Gotta go. If I were you, I'd get off this island too.
She really pushed it.
Here, catch.
Gave me 3
Better
fucking
get a move
minutes.
on. See you around.
Air America.
Very cute.
Okay. Woo! Look at that.
Leon,
We have to get off this island now. It's gonna blow any minute.
it's gonna what?
Alright, bitch, no time to explain. Let's go.
on, sweetheart.
Behind us!
I know. Just hold on.
Oh, shit! Almost fucked that one up. I'm gonna tell you right now, wave runners,
Ashley!
they only have so much fuel and they'll burn through the fuel pretty quickly.
Where are ya?
Leon!
Come on. Let's go home.
You can totally see her underwear.
Great idea. Mission accomplished. Right, Leon?
Not quite. I still have to get you home safe.
So, after you take me back to my place, how about we do some, overtime?
Sorry.
Somehow I knew you'd say that, but it doesn't hurt to ask, you know? So, who was that woman anyway?
Why do you ask?
Come on, tell me.
She's like a part of me I can't let go. Let's leave it at that.
She's like, after we're done, how about we go back and do a little, you know, you know, saying a little R&R. And he's like, nah. Nah, bruh. That's pretty much it. Probably one of the shortest episodes or parts or whatever on my channel. What was that, like 5 or 10 minutes or some shit? 15? One of the shortest episodes on my channel. Because I usually go for like 30, 45 minutes, an hour, and more than that. Again, I think one of the longest episodes or parts, Let's Plays on my channel was one of the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind games. I forgot how long that was. I think it was damn near an entire day what it felt like to me. There's obviously some parts where I walked away from the computer, go get something to eat or drink, or go to the bathroom or whatever. But, yeah. Now, I think at the end of all this, Leon gets contact from Hunnigan, or he contacts Hunnigan, and then I think he tries to get on a date with her or something, and then she's like, yeah, no dice, and he was like, same story with every girl in my life, or something like that. He tries to make it funny, you know, and it's one of those things. But Leon, in just about every video game he's in, no girl listens to him or does anything he wants. At least the ones that he's interested in, because, I mean, the frickin' president's daughter there, she was like, yo, let's do a little something. He's like, nah, you underage, nah. And as you can see in the background, it's showing how all this started with the village. These people are doing things. You got this guy who popped like his head off in half, and you got the little parasite Blagas going on. So now, I don't know if in this version of the game, the PC version, if it allows us to play as Hunk, Ada, Krauser. It might, I'm not sure. But at least we completed one Let's Play. We started this Let's Play a long time ago, got back into it for whatever reason, and here we are. We finally finished this one. Up next in the series, it's kind of up in the air whether I jump to Resident Evil 5 or backtrack to Resident Evil 3 Remake. Now again, I have not played Resident Evil 3 even when it first came out on the PlayStation. I've played Resident Evil 2 on the original PlayStation, which, by the way, the original PlayStation, my favorite console. I never owned Resident Evil 2, but I have played it. Never beaten it, but of course, on my channel, we did complete Resident Evil 2 Remake. We did beat it. And then we also did the Fourth Survivors, or whatever the hell those other ones were. So we did that. Resident Evil 3, don't know anything about it, except for what I've seen videos of people doing Let's Plays online.
Hunnigan, is that you?
Finally, the line's jack free.
Hey, Hunnigan, no glasses.
Forget the glasses. What's the status of the mission?
I've rescued the subject. We're returning home.
You did it, Leon.
Thanks. You know, you're kind of cute without those glasses. Give me your number when I get back.
May I remind you that you're still on duty?
Story of my life.
Yeah, that. Now, we do see or hear Hunnigan again. I think it's in Resident Evil 6. I believe it's in Resident Evil 6. She comes back because in Resident Evil 6 you can play as Leon. You can play as Chris, I believe. I don't know. It's been a long while. Damn, I nearly killed 1,000 people. Holy shit. Almost exterminated an entire town. 1,000 people right there. Number of times killed, 34. I got killed 34 times. Are you serious? Damn. Hit ratio 80%. Oh, hell yeah, I like that. Clear time took pretty much an entire day, except obviously the Let's Plays have shown from when I've done these episodes, they've been through some time, but overall 24 hours, 26 minutes, and 42 seconds. Let's see, what's our result? Or did we not get a result? Upload data. No, we don't need to upload that. No one needs to know what I did. You can now buy Infinite Launcher and the Matilda from the merchant. And a Matilda from the merchant. I believe the Matilda was the pistol Leon started with in Resident Evil 2. That was his signature handgun, I believe. Chris and Jill had the Samurai Edge 92FS. It was basically an M9 92FS 9mm handgun that they sometimes call the Samurai Edge or some shit like that. What's the difference between a 92FS and an M9? Well, those are real handguns. The Samurai Edge is just a fucking name. Capcom, or the developers of the Resident Evil series, called the 92FS/M9. It's just a gimmick name, that's all it is. There's really nothing particularly special, except in-game it would probably state something that the guy who created the quote-unquote Samurai Edge, what was his name? He was in Resident Evil 2. He was the guy that died at the beginning when you go into the gun shop. That guy hit that gun shop, I forgot his name. He was the one that supposedly, Kendo, that's his name, Kendo's gun shop. He created the Samurai Edge, and he modified the 92FS/M9 to be whatever it is that makes it the Samurai Edge. But it's not a real gun, or it's not a real trim model of the gun. It's just some made-up thing for Resident Evil. However, well, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's just a gimmick thing that came from Resident Evil. However, the 92FS/M9, those are a real handgun. Those are the it's a 9mm handgun modeled off of the original 92FS. which I own an actual 92 FS. It's basically a Beretta. It's an Italian Beretta. It's Italian Pietro Beretta or something like that. As best as I can with translation from Italian to whatever I can understand from it, because I mean, like, I'm Spanish, and a lot of Spanish words are very similar to Italian. A lot of Italian is similar to Spanish, and our languages transverse and transcribe towards Latin. So, Pietro Beretta, whatever. It's a 9mm handgun. Looks pretty cool. The U.S. Army doesn't use the 92 FS. It uses the M9 variant, which the difference between the 92 FS and the M9 variant is. Do you see the? All right, so you see the Matilda on the table there. Do you see the trigger guard on the 92 FS and the M9? Just above the trigger guard, forward, you see that little 90-degree turn just before it goes into the barrel. That portion is different between the M9 and 92 FS. There are probably other things that are a little bit different, but the one unmistakable thing between the 92 FS and the M9 is that the M9 has more of a squared off version, and the 92 FS just has like a loop that goes towards the barrel, so to speak. I mean, you could just look it up online and say, like, 92 FS versus M9, and you'll see visual difference between the two. 92 FS you can't really modify. It's the handgun as is. The M9, there is a possibility to modify, and then especially if you go with the M9A1, M9A2, or some shit like that. I don't know, but again, U.S. Army doesn't really use the M9 anymore. I don't think any more active duty units use them. Maybe National Guard, maybe reservists, especially with the MPs. But we don't use that anymore. We use the M17s, which the M17s still shoots 9mm rounds. Still has same clip size, I think, 15 rounds, and it's a lot lighter. Well, it's noticeably lighter. Like, when you hold it in your hand, you're like, wow, this is lighter than the M9. It's not as barrel heavy as the M9. The M17's a lot lighter all around, and you can have a better grip all around it versus the M9, or even my 92 FS. It's a full-size handgun versus the M17, where it's a little bit more compact. Nevertheless, it's pretty good. The recoil is amazing. I can't really say about accuracy, because I've been a pretty good shot with the M9. I've been a pretty good shot with my 92 FS, and I've been a great shot with the M17. I always get expert with those. But for this game, as they're stating here, we get the infinite launcher. So that's interesting, because I know in Resident Evil Survivor, if you beat the game on a good difficulty rating, well, not really difficulty, but if you beat the game on a good rating, you can get infinite ammo rocket launcher. So I guess they did something like that for this game, where, guess what, you get infinite rocket launcher, which is pretty good. But I can only imagine you have a slow reload, or there's not even a reload, you just shoot it, then you have to drop it, then you got to go back in your inventory, bring the rocket launcher out again to shoot again, and then start the process over. Also, you can't shoot this thing close to yourself. You're going to hurt yourself, as you more likely would in real life. Definitely have seen those, a lot of those being used on deployment, and those things are notoriously inaccurate. Pretty sure, like, the range for those is, I think, 200 to 300 meters or yards. I want to say meters, but the penetration value of those things, especially depending on which warhead you're using, if it's just a standard RPG-7, I think those are penetration values are like 700 to 800 millimeters. So then, of course, there's the thermobaric ones. Those ones will fuck up any personnel out in the open. And then there's ones with a blast frag sleeve. That's definitely going to fuck up personnel out in the open. Originally, these were created to just go up against tanks, but we can use it in this game and get rid of a group of people for sure. Matilda, if I remember correctly, in Resident Evil 2, was a slow-firing handgun. Leon's weapon that he started off with, which is interesting. In Resident Evil 2, he came on board to the RPD, the Raccoon City Police Department, with the Matilda. Everyone else, though, at the station and in STARS, used the 92FS or the Samurai Edge. Rare occasions you'll find other handguns in the game, like the 38 Special or some shit like that, or the did they call it the Nighthawk? The Magnum. I know there was also a revolver in the game, but everyone else had those. Leon was the only one that came in with this handgun. And as you can see, you can modify it and give it a big-ass fucking stock or something. Used the same 9mm rounds as the others. Yeah, and then in Resident Evil Outbreak and Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, same deal. You had the normal handguns that you could find, and they're based off of your Beretta. There was the I don't think they distinguished if it was Samurai Edges or not. However, Mark's character of the survivors you can select from Resident Evil Outbreak File 1 and 2, you had a character named Mark. He was a security guard. He had a custom Beretta, a custom handgun. His would allow for criticals. Whenever you shoot, every so often you would land a critical, because I think the description on his handgun was that he maintains his handgun pretty well. Makes me wonder if that was a handgun that he had while he was a soldier. I believe he was the rank of a colonel in the description for his bio in Resident Evil Outbreak File 1 and 2. And then you had Kevin Ryman. Ryman in Outbreak File 1 and 2. And I'm not 100% certain, but maybe in Resident Evil 2 and 3, because if you go to the police station, you can check around the desks, you could check around in some of the lockers, and I think there might have been a reference to a character named Ryman, or K. Ryman. He has a handgun that's a very powerful handgun. He has a 45, an M1911 45. So sorry about that. For some reason, the headphone cut off for whatever reason. But Kevin Ryman, he has an M1911 45. 7-round clip with 45 ACP. So that's what he has. And it's a damn good weapon. Problem is, finding ammunition for it is difficult. Anyways, yeah, we'll save. Sure, why not? Alright, extras, credits, and new game. What does the extras give us? Separate Ways, Assignment Ada, The Mercenaries, and Movie Browser. So what I'm thinking, what is Separate Ways? Let me click on that real quick. Game start. So we play as her. Alright, what about Assignment Ada? We play as her. Okay. What about Mercenaries? Okay. And then Movie Browser, what is this? I'm missing a movie. Huh. probably forgot to go back to a certain area then? Who knows? Alright, let's go back. New game. Oh, what do you know? We can now change it. Alright, cool. So we can go to professional if we wanted to. So here's what we'll do. I'll leave the game as is, and somebody can write in the comment section, hey, do the game all over again on professional difficulty this time. And I'll give it a try. We'll see what that does. Or if you don't care about watching the whole game again, but you want me to do like Separate Ways or Project Ada, whatever the hell it was called, the Mercenaries or something like that, just type that in. Otherwise, I'm okay with doing those and just seeing what they're like and maybe trying to beat them. I'm also okay with trying to play this game again on professional. We'll try to get a faster time than 24 hours. Probably not going to happen. Although it's a possibility because I do have a new remote and I do have a new headset. And the headset fits my head a lot better than the older one. The older one I had to always worry about moving my head too much because it can slide off. But for sure, the controller. I am not complaining about the controller anymore like I was from my last couple of Let's Plays that I always had to remove the Type-C USB from the controller, plug it back in. I had to restart the controller. I had to be careful how hard I held the controller. This controller, it's a Turtle Beach. I've mentioned before, it's a Turtle Beach Xbox controller. It's the Recon model. I went with the Recon one because it looked cool and it looked comfortable, and the way that it was explaining the lack of fatigue that you're going to have holding onto this controller, and the texture that you can get with your triggers and all that. There's like a little bit of texture on the button, so you know when you're actually pressing something. These buttons are not sensitive. Like, you have to actually push the button, and you're like, all right, cool. And on top of that, it's wired. I mean, I'm okay with wired, and I got a 10-foot freaking cable that came with it, so that's fine by me. And because it's wired, I don't have to fucking worry about batteries and shit. So this is fine. I like this. And if I wanted to, I can use this on friends' Xboxes and just plug it in and good to go. But with that being said, we could try playing this on professional and get a better time. Surprisingly, there were some weapons that I didn't use, and I guess I just proved that you didn't have to beat the game using those, because I know a lot of people like to use the mine thrower. I've never used the mine thrower. I never had to. I always thought it was a waste of a frickin' weapon. Clearly, I went through this entire playthrough without using it. You don't need to use it. Maybe in professional, I'll find that I have to, or maybe I don't need to anymore. And maybe some people will be like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. You can play without using the mine thrower or even this weapon or that weapon. Yeah, we can definitely try professional and see if we can do this again. I know it's going to be tougher. I think the enemies still die with the same amount of damage, but they also can injure you more because they have increased damage. So, for example, if you have a shotgun that does 10 damage, on professional, it's still going to do 10 damage. And the enemy will die with the right amount of damage. So let's say the enemy on easy, normal, and professional difficulty, they all die at 30 damage from the shotgun, right? And I'm talking about the normal pump action shot. But as an example, on professional, he's still going to take 3 shots, right? Because it's, I said it was 10 damage, right? So each round is 10 damage if nailed on the proper location of the zombie, right? So, this is an example, 10 damage, takes 3 shots, he's dead. Professional, he'll die. But let's say on professional, the AI is a little bit smarter, a little bit more aggressive, and does more damage. I now can die much sooner. So when it said I got killed 34 times, Maybe on professional, it's probably going to take 60-something or 90-something deaths that I'm going to have before I beat this game. I'll still give it a try. Resident Evil 4 is pretty good, and I don't really remember professional difficulty on Resident Evil 4. I think the first time I got this game on the PlayStation 2, I beat it, and then I went back because I found out you can get a weapon called the Chicago Typewriter, and you can make Leon dress up in his Resident Evil 2 costume. Some people call it the Pepsi Cop uniform or something like that. Or you can make him dress up as a mob boss with, what's her name? Ashley. You can make her dress up too. She can be in some weird cowgirl uniform. She could be in a knight uniform. She could be in knight armor, which is the best. If you get her that, you're good to go, because you don't have to worry about anyone hurting her or picking her up. The enemies will try to pick her up, and because she has armor on, the armor has weight, they'll pick her up and then they'll drop her. So ain't nobody going to hurt her. She's going to be fine. That's probably one of the best things you can do in this game, is get that. That way, if you're trying to do, I think, a speed run, you're at least safe. You ain't got to worry about going back for her and saving her or whatnot. But, I mean, yeah, there's that. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. Again, I'm gonna have to determine if I want to do Resident Evil 3 remake or jump to Resident Evil 5. Maybe you guys might want to watch one or the other, so just write in the comments Resident Evil 5, or do Resident Evil 3 and then jump to 5. Yeah, there's that. There's also the Halo series. I think right after this, I might just jump back to doing Halo 2 and trying to finish that at the very least. Because I know originally my goal was to get to Halo 3 ODST. I love Halo ODST. It's my favorite of the games. But then there's also Halo Infinite. I was working on that. I was playing that. I was enjoying myself with that. Then, of course, there's other Let's Plays I haven't... I mean, there was Red Dead Redemption 2. I wanted to do a Let's Play on that, but that game is freaking long. Like, I was playing on a different laptop, too. I wasn't playing on this laptop, but now I got this laptop, and this laptop's better than the last one, so it's kind of like, graphics are a little bit better. And I've been playing that game behind the scenes, and I'm like so far in the game, I'm like, do I really want to start over now? I mean, I haven't beaten the game, so it wouldn't hurt any, but I gotten so far in that game, so it's kind of like one of those deals, but I don't know. Somebody can also write in the comments and say, oh yeah, totally, do Red Dead Redemption 2, you know, do that, you know, I'll figure something out, how to make that work. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, so catch you guys on the flip side.